I do know that he's come to the opinion that there is probably an ET presence of some sort on planet Earth, and I think he now believes, or does believe, that some of the underground facilities, maybe many of them, have to do with an alien or non-human activity. Officially in this book, I would say he doesn't really have a firm conclusion on that matter, although toward the end of this book he does bring a few suggestive accounts of underwater and underground alien bases. Some of these are very well known. Not all of them are necessarily new. This was something that was new to me in his book. An article from Look magazine in 1955. It's interesting because Look and a couple of other magazines in the mid and late 50s were leaking other types of information out very briefly also, having to do with anti-gravity. Articles became very popular dealing with imminent breakthroughs in anti-grav technology, and then those articles just stopped. And I think the same thing had to do with this article. This is 1955, Look magazine, and what they're describing is our transportation of the future. Now this could easily, I guess, be passed off to, the kind of Jetsons future that we all saw back in the 50s and 60s, where, we'd all be zipping around today in our own little flying saucers. However, I'll just read the caption of this article. This is from Look magazine, where it says, future airports built for vertically rising saucers would have no need for the long, vulnerable runways that today's fighters require. The complete operation could go underground. Tunnels with takeoff shafts set into the ground, complete with maintenance bays, fuel and crew quarters, would be bomb-proof shelters for a saucer squadron. The shafts would be sealed after takeoff for camouflage and protection. So it's not that we necessarily have built this for our own private fleet of flying saucers. Maybe we have. But you may want to ask yourself, if there is a ET presence or a non-human presence here, and if they have their own flying saucers, might they use a system similar to this? Maybe do we? Some people do believe that the classified world is building its own flying saucers. I believe that they are. Another case that comes up in Richard's book is the Linda Porter case. This is a very famous case, extensively in Linda Moulton Howe's very excellent book, Glimpses of Other Realities, Volume 2. He did not include any illustrations from that book in his, but I'm including them for you here because I have her book too, and I wanted to get them in. But essentially, the Linda Porter case is one in which this woman who's living in the Lower California area, Southern California, had recollections then brought out through hypnosis of being taken to a secret underground base under the seabed near San Diego. If I'm not mistaken, I should have known this a little bit better. East of San Diego, so inland, but also I'm pretty sure she believed that she went under the seabed at one point also. Definitely under the ground. The base was called the Sycamore Remote Facility, run by General Dynamics. In this, according to her recollections through hypnosis, the U.S. government appeared to be cooperating with aliens in operating that facility. According to her, there were underground tram systems that led from the naval base in San Diego to this facility. There were aliens and humans in suspended animation at this particular facility. This is one of her drawings that this is her being taken by an alien, and you have humans, of course, here in suspended animation. But she also said that there were non-humans in suspended animation. This is a drawing that she made of a human in suspended animation. This head is turned away, so you can't see the head. But there's wearing a shiny metallic-looking vest, sandy-colored hair, that's what this is, tubes for nutrients and waste removal, connecting the person. Control panel over here, and otherwise wearing a black one-piece outfit except for the vest here. And this is made out of cement. That's her recollection. So the question is, are there, and there's much more. Again, I'm doing this in a concise way. Are there ETs down there? Well, it depends on who you want to talk to. My opinion is that there are. One of the other researchers who did a lot of work on this, as far as undersea ET presence is concerned, is the British researcher Timothy Good. Spent a lot of time in the Caribbean area off the coast of Puerto Rico investigating stories about undersea UFOs in that area. I think, and then of course you've got the late researcher Ivan T. Sanderson, who wrote 2 very, very fine books on underwater UFOs. There's the current researcher Carl Feint, who has the website, what is it, Underwater UFO?
Waterufo.net.
Waterufo.net. You can Google it. Some very good work dealing with current research on the underwater UFO connection. So personally, I think there's something there going on. So let me run through the conclusions that Richard Sauder has. Here's a no-brainer. There are many secret underground and probably undersea bases and tunnels. They can be impressively large and surprisingly deep. They contain very sophisticated technology. Many thousands of people are involved in constructing, operating, and maintaining these facilities. They are everywhere. Aliens are probably involved in some or maybe many of the underground and undersea bases. High-speed tube shuttle train systems probably do exist. I would mention also the amazing thing about these maglev trains. The big problem with them is not being able to lift a multi-ton train off the rails, which you would think that's a huge issue. No, they can do that. They've got it going out of Shanghai. It was built by the Germans not long ago, and it operates. The problem is just like with any normal train above the ground, which is air drag. So again, the idea, I'm just going back to the earlier section here, but if you remove the air, i.e. in a vacuum in an underground tunnel, by creating a partial or near total vacuum, you radically decrease air drag and radically increase your speed. Do they exist? His conclusion is he thinks they probably do. And then finally, of course, we, the people of this planet, are being lied to by our so-called leaders. Yes, I think that's a fair statement. That's a recent picture of Richard. That is from his video that's now on YouTube. You can link to it again through keyholepublishing.com. A video of what he's called the Richard Sauder briefing document. I shot the video. I don't think that's well known on the internet, but I did. I was his videographer. I set it up, in fact, in his house where he was in Pennsylvania at that time. I would encourage you to go check it out. It deals with all of his research, and it also deals with his analysis of the current political situation in the world today. I have a lot of respect for Richard. I think that he's one of the most principled people that I know personally, and I think he's probably demonstrated that by scaling the fence at Minot Air Force Base. I'll always stand by my friend. I think he's one of the most remarkable people that I personally know. I would encourage you to read. He's got articles which you can find at keyholepublishing.com/Sauder HTML. And that's his new book, Hidden in Plain Sight. And I would encourage you to look at that one too. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this.